All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today we're talking about something that can literally transform your parrot's diet and, honestly, their whole mental well-being. If you share your home with a bird, you already know they are crazy smart creatures, right? But what they actually need to eat is so often completely misunderstood. So we're going to unpack exactly what needs to change. I mean, we've all been there, right? The dreaded broccoli rejection. You try to do the right thing, you pop a fresh veggie in the cage, and your bird just stares at you like you've completely lost your mind. It's super frustrating, but here's what we really need to understand. Giving up and reverting to that old familiar bowl of seeds isn't just nutritionally bankrupt, it is psychologically stagnant for your bird.
So here's a roadmap for this explainer. We'll cover the all-seed diet trap, why birds refuse new foods, how to transition to balanced diets, their instinctual need to forage, and finally, working for food.
Okay, starting off with section 1, the all-seed diet trap. Think about the massive evolutionary gap we're dealing with here. Out in the wild, a parrot spends a huge chunk of its day actively flying around, foraging, and solving puzzles just to get a meal. It's a busy, purpose-driven life. But in captivity, we usually just hand them a stagnant bowl of easily accessible seeds. They gobble it down in 5 minutes and then nothing. They're stuck with hours of empty time. This severe boredom and lack of a natural routine is exactly what leads to those frustrating behaviors, like incessant screaming, aggression, and even feather plucking. So shifting to a balanced diet, moving away from the all-seed menu and towards high-quality pellets, fresh veggies, and a few appropriate treats, isn't just about getting the right vitamins. It's an absolute game changer for their behavioral resilience. A nutritionally balanced bird simply has a better baseline mood, way more stable energy, and a much greater capacity to cope with the daily challenges of living in a human household. Moving right along to section 2, why birds refuse new foods. You have to remember that parrots are a prey species. They are wired with intensely strong survival instincts. If they don't feel entirely secure in their environment, they simply won't forage or try new things. I mean, from their perspective, why risk eating a weird, alien-looking green tree like a piece of broccoli if it might be poisonous? Plus, animals are smart. They choose behaviors that maximize their benefits. If throwing a massive tantrum over a pellet means you're eventually going to cave in and hand over a sunflower seed, well, they've just successfully trained you. We often inadvertently provide positive reinforcement for that fussy eating by rescuing them with their favorite junk food. Which brings us to section 3, transitioning to balanced diets. So, how do we actually fix this? First things first, never force a sudden overnight change. Introduce the new pellets or vegetables very gradually to avoid starving them or causing a panic. Second, be super observant of the ABCs. That's antecedent, behavior, and consequence. Just take a step back and watch. What happens right before they refuse the food? What exactly do they do? And most importantly, what consequence do you provide? Are you comforting them with a seed? If so, you've got to change that consequence. Third, use short, frequent positive reinforcement training sessions. Reward them just for interacting with the new food. Eventually, you can slowly fade out those little contrived food treats and rely on natural reinforcers, like a head scratch or verbal praise, once they learn the pellets are actually safe and tasty. All right, section 4, the instinctual foraging need. Now, have you ever heard of the contra-freeloading phenomenon? It sounds super technical, but it's actually a really fascinating documented behavior seen across dozens of species, definitely including parrots. It essentially proves that captive birds will actively choose to manipulate devices or solve puzzles to get their food, rather than just eating the exact same food out of a free, open bowl. It's wild, right? They actually want to work. They possess this deep biological drive to earn their keep. And satisfying this instinct does not require an engineering degree or expensive gear. You can literally just take their daily pellet ration and wrap small amounts in plain paper. You can hide food inside safe, clean cardboard boxes, or tuck fresh veggies behind chewable barriers. By doing this simple stuff, you are transforming a boring 5-minute meal into a mentally stimulating puzzle that occupies their time, exercises their brain, and actively prevents destructive behaviors like feather plucking. And finally, section 5, working for food. When we look at a truly empowered bird, we're seeing an animal that is deeply engaged with its world. When a parrot is given choices, like deciding which cardboard box to tear open to find a pellet, they experience a massive boost in their quality of life. This lifestyle of positive experiences, problem solving, and exercising real control means you end up with a beautifully well-behaved companion, rather than a frustrated captive. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to take a hard look at your bird's daily routine right now. Are you just handing your parrot a free bowl of food out of convenience, or are you ready to enrich their entire world? Pick just one small foraging challenge or diet tweak to introduce today. You might just be amazed at the brilliant, capable animal waiting to emerge.